Hello fellow language learning nerds, welcome to another My Japanese Bookshelf video, the little series that I do where I like to show you a book from my metaphorical Japanese bookshelf. Sometimes it's a book about learning Japanese, and sometimes, like today, it's a book that's written in Japanese. Just before we get into it, allow me just a little moment to say that if you wouldn't mind considering liking, commenting, or maybe even subscribing, that would be super amazing. I try to do a video on this channel at least once a week, and I also try to write a tiny little articles on Ko-fi as often as I can, which are free to read. And at least once a week, I also try to do a study stream over on Twitch. So if you're interested in any of that stuff, links are down below in the description. Yes, but anyway, let's get into the video properly. So today, I would like to talk about Demon Slayer. I just had to check that was the right way up then for a second. Yeah, so this week I have been reading Demon Slayer. Yay! Now, before I got into reading it, I knew I was going to enjoy this anyway because one, I've seen the first season of the anime, and I have read this already in English, so it was a pretty safe bet that I was going to enjoy it if I started reading it in Japanese. So that was kind of a given, and yeah, it turns out, yeah, I still like it. Still good. In terms of reading it in Japanese, there were parts of it that were actually quite comfortable for me to read, and of course still parts that were difficult for me to read. I'm still a long way before I'm going to be able to read something like this comfortably all the way through, but I did notice that the comfortable moments in my reading were a little bit more in this one than usual, which was very encouraging. It made me very happy. A couple of things that really helped me in terms of reading. One was knowing the story before. I kind of already knew what certain characters were going to be talking about, what was the general goings on, what were the happenings in this. That will always kind of help me in context, because if I'm trying to figure out what a sentence is, I've got a lot of context in my head to kind of be like, oh, I see, they're talking about this bit. You know, that really helped. That will always help when reading, when trying to read a manga. Also, I did notice that, at least for me, I did find there was so much more vocabulary that I found easy, and a few grammar points that I was very familiar with. So I found a lot more of this just felt like, oh, this bit is an easy bit. Oh, okay, I'll just read that. Especially for example, just the beginning, the very first few pages with Tanjiro with his family. They're just talking about very basic stuff, and they're not talking about anything complicated. And so yeah, that was really nice and comfortable to read through. In terms of things that were difficult, one of the things that was difficult is this guy. There's just something about the way he speaks, or maybe maybe he speaks in an old-fashioned way, or he just talks in a particular way that whenever he was talking, I was just a little bit like when he first meets Tanjiro, there's one bit where he gets quite angry and he just does a whole lot of shouting at poor Tanjiro, and I was just like, But of course, I should be expecting that there will still be difficult parts for me. I think I was just really happy that there were more easier parts for me and not as many difficult parts, which I kind of, maybe as I get further on into the story, more difficult parts will pop up a bit more. But yeah, I really appreciated that there were parts that I was able to get through a few pages quite easily. And I found that while I was looking up loads of words on the dictionary, because I always have the dictionary open whenever I'm doing reading, because I need it. I found, especially in the earlier part, while I was looking up a bunch of words, a lot more of them were just me double checking that I did already know what that word meant. So I could have just gone straight through it being like, yeah, I'm pretty sure what that word meant, but I still felt the need to be like, let me just double check. There was also the first kind of instance that I remember, at least any, where while I was reading it, I came across a word and it had the kanji for it, and then it had the hiragana explaining how to pronounce it next to it. And I read the hiragana and I was like, I don't know what this word is. But then looking at the kanji, I knew what those meant individually. And then I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure it probably means something like this, right? And checking it up, I was kind of correct. So yeah, it was like an instance of, despite not knowing the word itself, just by having some knowledge of kanji, I was able to get a meaning out of it. Yeah, which I thought was kind of cool. Detective work via kanji, yeah. I think a lot of Japanese learners have had that experience, but I think it's the first time that it's happened to me. So I was like, ooh. My last little note actually has nothing to do with reading it. It's actually maybe two little notes. One is that I absolutely love the illustrations in this. They're just, in general, they are just really good. But then my favourite thing is the derp faces. They are just the best. Another thing is that you've got the two main characters at the front, on the front cover here, which is the same for, let me get it, the English one. This is one of the rare occurrences where I have both the English and the Japanese one, which is cool. Once I completely finish reading this, I've still got a little bit to do. I might look through this and see, maybe is there any sentences that I completely misunderstood, or I think it would be interesting just to go through this and be like, what's the official translation? Did I completely mess up anything, or is there anything that I did understand? But yeah, sorry, my main point to bring this out was the front cover. So the English one, as you can see, they've got basically the exact same cover. The difference with the Japanese one is that the Japanese one has a cover over it, as if it were a hardback. So, and there's another illustration in there, and it mirrors the front cover one, where the main two characters, it's very dramatic, very serious. Oh no, drama happening. Whereas in this one, I might take a nicer picture and show you here. But yeah, in the inside cover one, it's the same kind of pose, but they're joyous and they're happy in this one. And it's just a really nice little extra thing that the English one doesn't have, which I just wanted to tell you guys about. So yeah, that was me nattering on about reading Demon Slayer. Yeah, I really liked it. I was very happy with my reading kind of speed through this. Obviously, one day I want to get it up to a much higher level and be able to read through a manga like that very smoothly, with only looking up a few words maybe here and there. I've got a long way to go, but I'm very happy with where I am now, and I feel like maybe by the end of the year, who knows, maybe I will be. I don't know. Anyway, thank you so much for listening to me go on. Do let me know if you've read Demon Slayer in Japanese. What did you think of it? Were there anything that you were having trouble with? Did you maybe find it easier or harder than you were expecting? Thank you for taking the time out of your day to listen to me natter on. Hopefully I will see you in the next video, maybe even on Ko-Fi or over on Twitch. But either way, may your grammar be structured and your vocabulary varied. Bye!